So today we're going to have a quick look at rounding. So when we're rounding to decimal places, the decimal place can be shortened to dp. So what are 8.345 and 8.342 rounded to two decimal places? So when you're rounding something to two decimal places, we first of all only want two decimal places in our answer. So if the final digit is 5 or more, we round up. Sorry, the third decimal place is 5 or more, then we round up. And if the third decimal place is 4 or more, then we round down. Now, in this example, 8.345, if we're rounding to two decimal places, the third decimal place is 5, so we round up to 8.35. Now 8.342, remember we only want the first two decimal places, so what we do is we look at that third decimal place, and if the digit is 5 or more, we round up, and if the digit is 4 or less, then we round down. Now we've got 8.342, so the third decimal place is a 2, so that means that we round down. So 8.342 rounded to two decimal places is 8.34. So you need to think about when you need to include zeros as well. So if the answer says round to two decimal places, there must be two decimal places in your answer. And that is the case even if those decimal places are 0. So for example, 100 to two decimal places will be 100 for the 100, 0.00. Now, if we want to order numbers in terms of the number of decimal places, we're looking at the number of digits after the decimal point. So if you have more numbers after the decimal point, that means you have a greater number of decimal places. Now, which of these numbers is given to two decimal places? So we're looking for numbers that have two digits after the decimal point. So negative 7.84 only has two numbers after the decimal point, as does 0.01, as does 45.2. Now we're now going to think about rounding to significant figures. So the first significant figure of any number is a number with the first digit that isn't 0. So what, if we think about the number 0.352, the first significant figure will be the 3. Okay, so 0.352, the first significant figure will be the 3. If you're rounding that to two significant figures, you're rounding it to the second significant figure, which in this case will be 5. So 0.352, 5 is the second significant figure. So again, we look at the next digit, so in this case the third significant figure. If it's a 5 or more, we round up, and if it's a 4 or less, we round down. And in this case, 0.532, the number is less, 4 or less, so we round down. And that means 0.352 to two significant figures would be equal to 0.35. Now if we want to round 0.001827 to three significant figures, I recommend you writing that down, 0.001827 to three significant figures. Now the first significant figure will be the first figure that is not 0. So 0.00, none of them are significant figures. The 1 that comes after that is the first significant figure. So if you want to round that to three significant figures, you have a look at the fourth significant figure and decide if you're rounding up or down. So that if the digit is 5 or above, we round up. If it's 4 or less, we round down. So in 0.001827, the fourth significant figure is 7, and that means we round up. So 0.001827 to three significant figures is 0.00183. So what is 6.860800 to five significant figures? Again, I recommend writing that down. 6.860800. Well, first we need to find out what the first significant figure is. That's the first non-zero number. So in this case, it's the units, it's 6. So we look, if we round to five significant figures, at the sixth significant figure, and that is a 0. And we decide whether we round up or down. Well, because it's 4 or less, we round down. So the answer is 6.8608. Now, which of these numbers are given to four significant figures? So if we've got, we're looking for any number that has 4 digits after its first digit that isn't 0. So 8.010 would be an example of a number rounded to four significant figures, as would 9.276, as would 0.5000. The reason that last one is to four significant figures is because the first significant figure is 5. That's in the tenths column. So 0.5, and then we've got to have 3 more significant figures to make it to four significant figures. 0.899 rounded to 2 decimal places. Well, we look at the third decimal place, and that is a 9. So that means we round up. But when we round up, that actually knocks on from the hundredths column into the tenths column. So we actually change the number in the tenths column and the hundredths column in this example to give 8.90.